everybody, Trevor here, and welcome to the final top 3 video for the time being. And for today's top 3, we'll be discussing my picks for the best voices of Toby the Tram Engine. For those of you who don't know, Toby is a steam tram engine who worked on the mainland before being transferred to the island of Sodor to be part of Thomas's branch line. Here's a fun bit of trivia. Toby was Christopher Audrey's favorite engine, and on his trip to Yarmouth, he and his dad got to ride in the cab of one of the J70 class tram engines, which is Toby's basis. Oh, and I also wanted to point out that Toby is also Andrew Brenner's favorite character along with James, Bill, and Ben. And before we get started, I just wanted to point out that Toby hasn't returned in All Engines Go yet, which is a good thing because I don't want him having the same fate as Edward and Henry. But enough about those things. Let's begin my top 3 best voices for the character, and get this done and over with. Number 3, William Hope. This guy was the first US voice for the character in the CGI series. He also used the same exact voice for Edward, Whiff, Farmer McColl, and the dockyard manager at Brendam Docks. I kinda liked this voice of Toby because it makes him sound not only elderly, but also timid and shy. I know some people don't like that side of Toby, but in my opinion, it makes him more interesting. I mean, just because someone is old doesn't always mean that they have to be wise. Number 2 is Ben Small. When it comes to the UK dub of the CGI era, Ben Small was the first voice of the character. I think he does a great job with him because, like William Hope, it makes him sound old, shy, and timid. Oh, and according to a CIF interview, Ben Small's Toby voice was based on the actor of Clive Dunn from Dad's Army, which is quite an interesting fact. Here's another fun fact. Ben Small was originally tasked to only voice Thomas, but was also told to voice Toby if he wished to do so. Not to mention that he was also going to give Thomas an American accent in the US dub, but here Timon chose Martin Sherman for the role instead. You know, it's too bad that he only voiced some of the characters in seasons 13 through 18 due to contractual reasons. But hey, at least the new voices were trying their best. Still, I wish Ben Small stayed a little longer. Now before I get to my number 1 pick, here are a couple honorable mentions. Rob Rackstraw. Although it is good, but I was kind of expecting Toby's new voice actor to sound similarly to Ben Small's impression because Rob's voice sounds exactly the same as Travis the Tractor's from the UK dub of Bob the Builder. Stephen Donald. He only voiced him in the UK dub of the Railway Adventures PC game, though it is a pretty good voice too. And the number 1 best voice for Toby is Colm Feore. Ah yes, Colm Feore, the very first voice of Toby not only in Thomas and Magic Railroad, but also in the entire franchise. In the movie, he gives him an old English dialect, which in my opinion suits him perfectly, because it makes him sound old, wise, and kind like Edward. Oh, and speaking of Edward, could you imagine if Colm Feore used his Toby voice for Edward too? That is, if he were to appear in the final cut of Thomas Magic Railroad? After all, William Hope did the same thing for the CGI series as well. Now let me know in the comments section of which of these Toby voices are your favorite. Do you agree with my list, or do you have your own personal preference? And if there's anything I could have elaborated more on, or could have done better, then let me know. This is Trevor Davis, and I'll see you all in March.